You can't terraform Mars in isolation. You'll need startup capital, supporting colonies all around the solar system, and to manage politics in Terraforming Mars expansions.
And today we are diving into a quick start tutorial for all of the available Terraforming Mars expansions, in particular Prelude, Venus Next, Colonies and Turmoil. We'll explain everything you need to know if you want to get started quickly integrating these expansions into the base game, while picking up the details and icons as you go along, in 15 minutes or less.
And hi everyone, it's Stella.
And Tarrant, welcome to Meeple University.
And hey, if you enjoyed this video after watching, you really help us by like, subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments. That seriously will help us to bring more videos. Alright, now let's get to the classroom.
Since its release, Terraforming Mars has spawned several expansions and variants, and in this quick start tutorial, we'll explain how to incorporate them all into your game. We'll start with the basic variants and promos before going into the 4 major expansions: Prelude, Venus Next, Colonies, and Turmoil. A 5th phase in each generation called the Solar Phase has been added to the round sequence and covers the new steps for these expansions. There are many alternative map boards available, each showing Mars from a different angle and providing a different mix of milestones and awards. You can play any map with any set of expansions, with 2 notes. First, if a card's placement restriction is not available on this map, then you can place without restriction. And second, with the larger Amazonas Plantisha map, you'll play to 11 oceans, 18% oxygen and 14 degrees for a longer game. The Milestones and Awards expansion grants you full flexibility to mix and match these 2 components, rather than take only the sets pre-printed on the maps. And there are many promo cards which have this icon, which can shuffle straight into the project deck. The Prelude expansion provides a quicker and more variable start to the game by giving players moderately powerful extra resource cards on top of their corporation benefits. Prelude components have this icon. In the starting card draw, you additionally draw 4 Prelude cards and choose 2 for free, which you play in turn order immediately before the first generation. There are 2 Prelude expansions. Prelude 1 works with the base game, and Prelude 2 has cards which are geared towards what's new in Venus, Colonies and Turmoil. In Venus Next, players split their focus between Terraforming Mars and Terraforming Venus. Venus components show this icon. The hostile Venusian surface means there is no map. Venus is colonized by hovering infrastructure in the atmosphere called floaters, which is a special resource appearing on many of its cards. To play Venus Next, you'll set up the Venus board with its new global parameter and special city locations. When you gain a Venus step, advance the marker and gain a terraforming rating as usual. A new standard project and an additional award and milestone provide both the means and benefits for pursuing the Venus path. In the new Solar Phase, first check for the end of the game, which is still based only on the 3 Martian global parameters. Completion of Venus does not matter. Then resolve World Government. The current first player raises 1 global parameter by 1 step without gaining any points or benefits, and this ensures that the game plays over a similar length, even with players putting resources into Venus. World Government can raise Venus rather than a Martian global parameter. In Colonies, players build outlying colonies elsewhere in the solar system, with new ways to build a resource engine. Colonies components show this icon, and you'll play with 2 more colony tiles than there are players in the game, or you'll use 5 in a 2-player game. There are 3 new effects. You can build a colony, either from a card effect or the new standard action. Mark the lowest unoccupied space in a colony, pushing the white cube up if necessary, and gain the benefit you cover. This can be done 3 times in total per colony and once per colony per player. You could gain a trade fleet. Each player begins with 1 and can only get another through specific cards which provide that effect. And as a new action, you can trade. Pay the cost and move one of your trade fleets from home base to any colony with no other fleet. Gain trade income based on the white cube, so here 3 titanium, and reset the white cube as far left as it goes. Then players with colonies there gain the colony bonus, here 1 titanium each. In the solar phase after world government is colony production. All trade fleets return home, and white cubes increase by 1 step. Through all of this, note that a colony which produces a card resource is inactive until the first time a project which accepts that resource is brought into play. Until that happens, the colony does not produce and cannot be interacted with in any way. Colonies also adds many non-Venus floater cards to the game, increasing the amount of ways that you can use floaters. In Turmoil, players lobby the Terraforming Committee to guide their corporations through different policies and global events. Turmoil components show this icon. The event board shows the next 3 generations' global events, although there will not be one in the first generation. On the committee board, there are 6 parties. One of the 6 parties will be ruling, initially the Greens, and its policy tile up the top of the board adds a passive effect. There will be a chairman from the ruling party, initially a neutral. As a new action, you can pay 5 credits to move one of your delegates to any party. Or if the delegate comes from the lobby, or from a card, then the effect is free. The first delegate in a party becomes its leader, and that position can be usurped by another player with strictly more delegates in the party. The single party with the most delegates is the dominant party, and this again can be usurped only by another party with strictly more delegates. The dominant party is best placed to be the next ruling party. In the solar phase after colony production, all players lose 1 terraforming rating, and either gain or suffer the effect of the current global event. The reward is improved or penalty reduced by having influence, for which you gain 1 for having the chairman, 1 for having the leader of the dominant party, 1 for having at least 1 non-leader delegate in the dominant party, and potentially some from cards. Then the dominant party becomes the ruling party. There is a new passive effect and an immediate income effect for all players. The dominant leader becomes the new chairman, and that player gains a terraforming rating. The old chairman and other dominant delegates return to the reserve. Replenish the lobby and reset the dominant party. Slide the global events and add neutral delegates to the top left and bottom right parties. Through all of this, Turmoil adds project cards with Turmoil-specific prerequisites, such as for a certain party to be ruling, or to have 2 delegates in that party, or requiring you to have party leaders or the chairman. And so those are the expansions for Terraforming Mars. Remember, if playing with all the expansions, the effects resolve in the solar phase after production. First, check the endgame trigger, and if triggered, skip the rest of the solar phase. If not, the first player performs Venus World Government, then perform the colony reset and production, and finally resolve the event and the change of government in Turmoil.
Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, maybe you'd like to watch this next one. Have a great day, bye!